I now invite Ms. FatimatuJatri M. Hamed of the Northeast Iowa Peace and Justice Center to take a seat at the petitioner's table, to be followed by Mr. Andre Greenblatt and Mr. Fulvio Renault. You have the floor, Madam.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I am afraid that it's not my honor to be here in front of you today for the third time, knowing that you have not taken any serious action towards solving the conflict in Western Sahara. I am so disappointed with the United Nations' lack of efforts in giving my people the right to self-determine themselves, which was promised to them in 1991. In the past 27 years since the promise, I grew up in refugee camps in southwest Algeria because my country of Western Sahara is illegally occupied by Morocco, while the natural resources of my country are illegally stolen by Morocco and shipped to countries like France, Spain, Norway, Canada, USA, and many other wealthy nations. My people starve and depend on the international aid for food. This is more than an injustice. It is a pathetic neglect and abandonment of fellow human beings because their voices seem to fall on deaf ears. Will you listen to my people, or I have to come another time to give a speech at the United Nations years and years later? Since 1997, the Sahrawi people in the occupied territories of Western Sahara have been suffering daily under the Moroccan occupation. In these territories, students and human rights activists are tortured and imprisoned for demonstrating against the illegal occupation of their land. It is not acceptable that the international community is turning a blind eye to what's happening in Western Sahara. I believe it's time for the international community to take responsibility and act against Morocco's violations of human rights in the occupied territories of Western Sahara. Why are we allowing this to happen? How can you all go to sleep knowing that this illegal occupation is still happening in the 21st century? How long should we wait for a solution to this prolonged occupation? Today, I ask you to take responsibility and give the people of Western Sahara the legitimate right to self-determination. As I appealed in the previous years, the French government should stop being the stumbling block and allow my people their freedom. It is bias and in favor of the Moroccan government its bias in favor of the Moroccan government is known, and it is an irony and a pity that your people fought against oppressive monarchy in the French Revolution and fascism in the World War II, but you don't seem to value our freedom. Are we less human? I urge the United Nations to stand together against the French abuse of the international law and hold the governments accountable for contributing to the suffering of my people of Western Sahara. I also call the people of France to publicly demonstrate against their government's abuse of the international law and violation of my people's right to self-determination. Also, let us not forget about Spain, who continue to violate the international law by not recognizing its historical responsibility to free Western Sahara. Spain continues to deny the Sahrawi people the right to freedom by standing with Morocco in their exploitation of the natural resources of Western Sahara. This is not acceptable. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that by not taking actions, you are denying us our freedom. The people of Western Sahara deserve the right to self-determine themselves. Let us decide for ourselves. And just to mention that
I thank Ms. FatimatuJatri M. Hamed for the information she has furnished to the committee. You may now withdraw.